Hi there, I'm Emma O'Brien. I'm a stress management expert and a coach. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what it means to regulate your nervous system. So when we get stressed, when there is a stressor, something happens. I shared in the first video what it means to have a stress response activated. And this tends to be in everyday life, emails, things through the post, bills, phone notifications tinging, phone calls. It tends to be stresses that happen repeatedly throughout the day. So we can end up in an activated nervous system response a lot of the time. And essentially what happens when there is a stressor, so when that email arrives, it triggers our sympathetic nervous system to go into either a fight or flight response. And essentially, there's then a cascade of stress hormones that go through your body, which increase your heart rate, increase your blood pressure, narrow your focus. They take you from your logical brain into your emotional brain. And if it doesn't get calmed, you can end up staying there. And when you are in an activated stress response for an extended period of time, it affects your ability to think clearly. We end up being end up being rather reactive rather than being responsive. It affects your heart rate. It affects your productivity. It can affect your mood. Stress has long-reaching effects on our whole physiology and our mental and emotional well-being. So when you can learn to regulate your nervous system on demand, which is something I teach, I'm a heart math practitioner, so that is a set of nervous system regulation tools. You have more access to resilience, which is something I talked about in the first video in this series, and you are better able to recover from stressors so that you're not constantly activated the whole time. And there are a few ways you can regulate your nervous system, which I'm going to share with you. This is not an exhaustive list here. There are way more things on this list as well, but here are just a few to get you started. So the first one is to slow your breathing down. When you can slow your breathing and you can match the length of your inhale with the length of your exhale and make them as long and slow as possible, it starts to calm and dampen down that nervous system activation. So it'll bring you down from fight or flight because it's slowing your breathing, slows your heart rate, which will start to calm all of your systems internally down. Making sure you have some time for yourself each day. So you're not just skidding in sideways everywhere. You're not just constantly giving all the time. Making sure you're doing something to refill your own cup each day. When you are exhausted and burnt out and literally running on fumes, you're going to be very easily kicked off into a stress response. Connecting with people, having meaningful conversations with people, being surrounded by and spending time with people who you appreciate and who reciprocate that by also making you feel like you're appreciated is very calming and soothing to our nervous systems. Living and working on purpose. Not having purpose is a stressor. When you feel like you don't have purpose, when you feel like you're just getting up to go to work and come home again and you sitting and questioning, why the hell am I doing this? Because it doesn't feel particularly good. That is a source of stress. If you can connect with some meaning and find purpose in what you're doing each day, and that's difficult to maintain throughout the course of a whole day, but if you can find purpose and meaning in what you're doing, even a couple of glimpses of it throughout the day, it is really, really good for you and it will soothe your stress levels. Going out in nature, spending time going for a walk, listening to the birds singing, putting your feet on some grass, very calming. Being aware of what you're eating and drinking and how it affects you physically. If you have too much coffee, for instance, it can make you feel anxious and jittery, which will activate your nervous system because it will make you feel stressed because you're going to be jittery. Not saying you can't have coffee at all. I'm not that dull, but you just limit it. If you find that you're having 5 cups of coffee in quick succession and you feel a bit jittery, maybe just back that up a little bit. Making sure you are getting enough sleep. When you have insufficient sleep, you are at a disadvantage. A deficit in sleep affects your cognitive functioning, and when your cognitive functioning is affected, it is harder to get things done, which then makes tasks become stressful. And most people need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep a night. So if you can aim for that, you will feel better. You will always feel better after a good night's sleep. So sleep is really, really important. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg with nervous system regulation work I've been sharing over the course of these videos. I have a 4-week group coaching program that is starting on Tuesday, the 8th of October. And this is going to be 4 weeks where I take a small group of people on a journey to teach them how to calm their stress response, feel better. When we feel better, we enjoy life more and we can be better. We can show up better. So I'm going to be teaching 4 nervous system regulation tools, 1 each week. They each build on each other, along with a really fabulous collection of strategy that you can put in place in combination with that to reduce your stress levels in the long term. That's what's important here. If you want to find out more about the coaching program, you can check the link below the video. We're starting on Tuesday, and I'm really excited. If you would like to sign up to that, I will be thrilled to welcome you to the group. I will see you for a last video tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.